Quarters in session. We have a GOAT debate. We have a GOAT debate on our hands. Brock Bowers' career has come to an end at the University of Georgia, and there's this guy named Herschel Walker lying around. So here's what we're going to do.
Lying around.
One of you.
He's just there.
He's just hanging. Hanging around. One of you has Herschel Walker. One of you has Brock Bowers. Now, there's a little gamesmanship going on in the group chat today, and we'll playing some mental games. All right, I put it up to the chat. I want one of you to pick Brock Bowers. I want one of you to pick Herschel Walker. All right, and the first response I thought I was going to get was, I call dibs on so-and-so. That was not the text I got. Kirby sent back immediately, hey, J. Will, which one you want? He gave you first pick, dog.
He did.
And then we get in here in the chat or in the room, and I don't even know what the mental shit talking was over here, but you gave him a little barb too. I can't quite remember what it was.
No, I just said, like, I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Don't need no help. I think that's what it was. Don't need no help.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so how do y'all want to go? How do y'all want to do this? You want to flip a coin to see who states their case for GOAT first?
I mean, you can go first if you want. Bro,
Okay.
I'm not.
All right.
This isn't damn 8 Mile.
I'm selling it, bro. Chill out. Go ahead. Herschel Walker.
Okay.
Why is he the GOAT?
First and foremost, for all 3 years that he was at the University of Georgia, that dude was more than 50% of the total offense.
Ooh.
I mean, he went from, I think it was 1,300 rushing yards, then he went to 1,800 rushing yards, and then 1,700 rushing yards. I mean, that dude was the entire offense. It was never like, is Georgia's offense going to score this drive? It was, is Herschel Walker going to find a way and score this drive? I mean, that's what it was. That dude dominated college football for all 3 years. He almost should have been a 2-time Heisman winner, arguably. Just impressive all around. The other thing that I want to mention when I thought about is Brock Bowers to go, immediately what I went to think about was, are 19 jerseys going to be a staple in Georgia merch stores? Like 20 years from now, are we still going to see Brock Bowers jerseys? Because, I mean, since Herschel Walker left UGA, there has been 34 jerseys sold everywhere. I mean, he is still there. You can still buy yourself a red and black 34 jersey. Do we think that Brock Bowers will be that? Do we think like his jersey is forever going to be in those stores? Because in my opinion, I would argue Stetson Bennett has a better chance of having that happen than Brock Bowers would. So that's another thing that I thought of. I mean, and honestly, like, when people think of Herschel Walker, when they think about the greats of college football, and I know that it just ended for Brock Bowers, so there's still time for this to build, but like Herschel Walker is always a name that's thrown out there of like, that dude is one of the most dominant players in college football. He is one of the greatest college football players. I don't know if Brock will be that. Like I said, we still haven't gotten like this full digestive thing of like, okay, Brock Bowers' career is over. What do we think about him in totality? But I just still think that it's hard to just come out here and topple a guy like Herschel Walker.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. Do you
No.
I saw you reach for your gavel, so.
This $12 Amazon gavel sure is attractive for an ADD son bitch like me.
No, I mean, and there's no denying Herschel Walker's greatness. I'm not here to say like, oh my God, Brock Bowers is miles away from Herschel.
Yeah, I don't
Walker.
think either of us are taking that stance.
No.
It's not even close, bro.
No,
what do you mean?
I just think looking at what Brock Bowers did in the era of college football that he did it in, where you have NIL, the talent in college football is so much more widely distributed. You don't have regionality recruiting at all. Like, it's not all Georgia recruits are going to Georgia, all California recruits are staying in California. The best are going everywhere. And then you have the transfer portal and things such as that. You're playing in the most talented era of college football. So to see what Brock Bowers did, where he basically was the most dominant player on the field for 3 straight years, from the time he stepped on the field to the time he stepped off. Now, statistically wise, it's not going to be comparable to Herschel Walker because your receiving is not going to be you're not getting as many touches as a receiver. But to see what he did as a blocker, to see what he did as a receiver, and the fact that he's going to go down in some of the greatest Georgia stories ever because ending the 41-year drought.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, and we are in the infancy of his career ending because it's literally like he played his last game 30 days ago, almost not even. So time will tell, but I do think that 20 years from now, the way that people talk about Herschel Walker, and, I heard, he did 5,000 sit-ups and 5,000 push-ups every day and all those things. The legend of it is only going to grow more.
Used to race trains.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I mean, so like the video of Brock Bowers running up the hill and during COVID, stuff like that, where it's like the story Kirby told in SEC Media Days. The legend of Brock Bowers is going to grow to a point where I think he will surpass Herschel Walker at some point, because, one, the exposure. Like you can watch Herschel Walker highlights, but you can't go back and watch every game he played in. It wasn't televised by then. So I think history is gonna be much kinder to Brock Bowers from GOAT status, just because it's more accessible, it's more comparable. I mean, Georgia receivers were in track stances in 1980. Like it wasn't the same. I think Buck Blue had
Herschel Walker had me blocking for him.
Yeah, I
up
think,
front on the
I think
offensive
Buck
line,
Blue
bro.
had like 1,000 passing yards in 1980. So it's like it's two different brands of football,
No doubt.
and it's football that's much more relatable to watch to the younger guys. So I think as time goes on, Brock Bowers is going to be looked at as the Georgia GOAT.
Do you think Herschel's willingness to continue to be in the limelight? I mean, did Pros versus Joes, I believe, did UFC fighting
Strike
for a
Force,
while.
yeah.
Like, we don't even have to get into the political stuff, but like he constantly stuck around.
Yep.
I think when Brock Bowers' college football, professional football career is done, he'll just buy a home in California and you'll never see from him. He'll probably go full granola. He'll probably live off the grid, never to be seen again.
I could totally see that happen, and that will somewhat hurt the
The
legacy
Georgia
of
boys
Brock
got
Bowers.
him into hunting. If you look at his Instagram, he's out here killing shit. So,
On and off the field, he's
on and
killing
off
shit.
the field, he's out here killing shit. So yeah, maybe he just goes full granola, lives in a house in a cabin he built with his own bare hands, and didn't put it on social media.
The one thing I wanted to point out, because when I've had this thought myself, and honestly, for me it was, let's just stick them both in the same tier, because if you look at the trajectory of their careers, it was very, very, very similar.
Very similar.
I mean, the stories of Herschel Walker getting to Georgia, it was exactly what you said. He was racing trains. He was doing sit-ups every night in his living room. Brock Bowers was running hills out in California, sent a video, and boom, now he's at the University of Georgia. This, like when Herschel Walker had his freshman run against Tennessee, that was it. It was history. When Brock Bowers got in against Clemson, that was it. That was history. Everybody knew that he was going to be special. Herschel Walker in the national championship game dislocates his shoulder. Nah, fam, put that sucker back in. We're going in. Brock Bowers hurts his ankle. Nah, dude, like we're doing surgery and I'm going to be back in 27 days. Like these guys are very, very similar, so we should just stick them in the same tier. They're both the GOATs at the University of Georgia.
You can have more than one GOAT.
Couple of goats cutting it up. You heard it here first. It is decided.